Hello and welcome back to English for You. I'm Seb.
I'm Chicklin.
So Chicklin, we're still talking about Dumpling, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Dumpling, that really good book, a young adult book, which you guys should definitely check out. It's also a Netflix movie.
Oh,
yes,
I should
with
go
Jennifer
check it out.
Aniston.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm going to go watch it. I
yeah.
didn't know that.
She plays the mean mum.
Okay.
It looks pretty funny. It's on my watch list, so
Okay,
I'm definitely
I'm
going
to
to watch it. So what happened at the beginning of the story, though? Where are we joining Will? What's happened until now?
So Will, this girl, she proudly calls herself a fat girl ever since she was very small.
Yes, because she's very comfortable. Normally we say someone's fat. When we say someone's fat, it's rude, it's hurtful, and we shouldn't call people fat. But she's so confident that she can use this insult on herself, and she feels good about it.
That's a good thing.
But not everything went well, did it?
Something happened, after when she turned 17 years old.
Yes. Right? Her aunt had just passed away.
Lucy, whose name is Lucy.
And then also one of her friendships ended, and she also had an issue with a boy.
Oh,
so she's kind of lost her confidence now. For the first time ever, she feels weird about her body.
And it's quite interesting that when somebody likes you back, you're supposed to be like, read it. Oh my gosh,
yeah,
she likes
I think it's awesome.
But how does she feel about it?
She doesn't feel good. She doesn't feel good because she thinks everybody will see her as too fat to have a sporty boyfriend. Anyway, so that's where we were. Let's jump right back in. She has just joined the beauty pageant, so let's see what happens next.
Reading.
Dumpling. Will's decision upsets her mother. However, it also encourages many girls at her school to sign up too, including Ellen. This makes Will jealous, and before long the two girls get in a big fight. They stop talking completely. Later, Will watches a drag queen pageant at a bar her aunt used to go to. There, she meets one of the performers, Lee. It turns out that he knew Will's late aunt, Lucy. Both of them shared a love for the singer Dolly Parton. Lee agrees to help Will prepare, and she feels inspired by the experience. On the day of the pageant, Will does brilliantly and impresses everyone with a touching speech about loyalty. She later makes up with Ellen and is also reminded of the important role Lucy played in raising her. This moves Will. She decides to break the rules by performing something the judges haven't agreed to. It's the song Jolene by Dolly Parton, her aunt's favorite. As a result, Will loses the pageant, but that doesn't matter. Once again, she feels proud of who she is.
So the article begins by saying, Will's decision upsets her mother.
Right, so her decision to join the beauty pageant. So it's upset her mother. Now, upset is a verb, and when we upset someone, we make them unhappy. Will's decision has made her mum unhappy because her mum probably doesn't want her to be in a beauty pageant. Her mum thinks that because she is a bigger girl, that she shouldn't be in a competition about being beautiful. So if you read the book or see the movie, you will see that her mum has a lot of issues about how people see her and about her daughter as well. So we could also use upset as an adjective too. If I'm upset with someone, then that means that someone has made me sad or angry. So they all have kind of the same meaning. You can upset someone, you can be upset. So let's have a look at an example sentence of upset as we saw it in the article. The rude way Melissa speaks to her boyfriend in public often upsets him. See, no one likes someone who's rude to you in public.
No. 好，我们看一下 upset 这一个动词啊，它是使一个人生气或者是难过。那么 upset 也是可以当形容词的哦，比如说 people might get upset when things are unfair.
So going back to the article, however, it encourages many girls at her school to sign up too, including Ellen. I see. So this could be a bit of a problem for Will, couldn't it? Because she already has issues with Bo for being sporty. She has issues with Ellen for hanging out with a shallow, popular girl. And Ellen is also slim. She's more traditionally beautiful. Yeah.
好，那么再去看文章说什么。This makes Will jealous.And before long, the two girls get in a big fight. They stop talking completely.
Oh, wow. They stop talking completely. Now, when we do something completely, we do it 100%. Will and her friend stopped talking completely. In other words, they don't talk anymore. Completely is just one of the adverbs we can use to say to what degree we've done something. If we do something partially, we only do part of it. We do less than 100%. So, for example, the plan was partially successful. That means that it kind of worked, but it didn't work as well as we thought it
50-50 or
50, yeah.
Yeah, it was 70.
70,
30.
Any number under 100, basically. But we could also talk about barely doing something. If we barely do something, we only do it a tiny little bit. So we almost don't do it at all, but we do it a tiny bit. So, for example, Mary's husband barely smokes nowadays, but she still hates that he does. So even one cigarette a day is still not good for you. You still shouldn't smoke, even if it's just one. Let's look at an example sentence for completely now. I tried to say hi to Robin on Saturday, but he completely ignored me.
Or maybe he didn't see you.
Maybe he doesn't want to talk to me.
Oh, that's right, yeah. 好，我们看一下 completely 这一个单字，它是个副词哦，是完全地、彻底的意思。那么当然呢，我们把 ly 拿掉啊，就会变成形容词嘛，就是完整的、完全的意思。那我们再造一个句子 Please do not leave your seat until the train has come to a complete stop. 就是火车完全停止前，不要离开你的座位。那么 complete 当动词的话，就有完成的意思。那我们可以说 Please complete the job application form.
Right.
And next, the article keeps on saying, later, Will watches a drag queen pageant at a bar her aunt used to go to. 那我们这边看到 drag queen, 它就是扮装女王的意思，或男扮女装的表演者都可以叫她 drag queen.
Right. So she goes to see, she's a little bit of a different pageant, right? It's a little bit different to the pageant she's in, but this is a really good experience for her. She actually meets one of the drag queens. The article says there she meets one of the performers, that's one of the drag queens, Lee.
And it turns out that he knew Will's late aunt, Lucy. 这边有看到一个片语 turn out. Turn out 就是结果的意思。所以 Will 他跑去阿姨以前常去的 bar. 那他这边遇到一名表演者叫做 Lee. 结果他发现这个结果嘛，这边 turn out 他发现这个 Lee 认识他去世的阿姨哦。
Both of them shared a love for the singer Dolly Parton. That's Lee and Aunt Lucy. So, yeah, Dolly Parton is the great country singer, Dolly Parton. Do you listen to any Dolly Parton songs?
I think I've listened to her, like, maybe not a lot, but just like a song, like of her works, yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple of very famous ones. There's 9 to 5 and Jolene as well, two very famous songs by Dolly Parton. This turns out to be very important later on in the book. So they're both fans of Dolly Parton.
好，我们这边看到 share love for someone. 那这意思就是说他们两个人都很喜欢 Dolly Parton 这一个歌手。那 Dolly Parton 是一个美国的歌手兼词曲作者，他是乡村音乐的创作跟演唱，然后才闻名的。
Lee agrees to help Will prepare, and she feels inspired by the experience. I think in the book, she says that she feels inspired because, she gets exposed to the drag culture and drag queens and seeing the pageant world, the beauty pageant world from a different angle, because before she just sees it as being very shallow, and that she sees more fun in it after she goes to this bar. So she's inspired.
那我们看到 inspire 这个字，它就是受鼓励的意思。那么 inspire 呢，你把 ed， 你把它的 d 拿掉，变 inspire 就是动词嘛。那么名词就是 inspiration， 灵感或者是鼓励都可以。所以因为 Lee 的帮助呢，让 Will 整个大受鼓舞。那么文章接下来说呢 ，On the day of the pageant, Will does brilliantly and impresses everyone with a touching speech about loyalty.
I see. So she does brilliantly. Now, brilliantly is an adverb, and it's great that she does brilliantly because when we do something brilliantly, we do it really, really well. The article is saying that Will did a very good job at the pageant. We could also say that she performed brilliantly or that she gave a brilliant performance. So we can use it as an adjective too if we take off the ly at the end. Brilliant. Here's an example sentence of brilliantly. Brian did brilliantly in the final exam and he got the best grade in the class. There are plenty of other verbs that we can use as well, adverbs, to show that we did something really well. We can do something impressively, and that means that what we do impresses someone. It makes someone amazed, or it makes someone, look up to us or be very impressed by us. We could do something intelligently, which means that we put a lot of thought into it and we do something very clever. Or we could do something astonishingly, which is something which is very unexpected. So he did astonishingly well, for example, would mean that he did so well that nobody expected it to be that good. Nobody expected him to do as well as he did. But what he did was really brilliant.
好，那我们看一下这个单词 brilliantly， 这边是一个副词，那一样老师就提到 ly 拿掉变成形容词 brilliant， 就是杰出的、卓越的意思。那么我们可以形容东西是发亮的哦，譬如说 The snow was brilliant in the morning sun， 阳光下的雪很灿烂，发光。
So next we see the word touching, which is an adjective, and you already know that to touch is more or peng in Chinese, but when we say something is touching, we mean something else. Touching is an adjective that means to make something that makes you emotional, normally sad, but sometimes it makes you cry with joy. So there's normally tears involved. So, for example, Amy's dad gave a touching speech on her wedding day. So here the speech that Amy's dad gave was probably very sweet, and it made lots of people cry. We could also say that lots of people were touched by the speech, or we could say that lots of people were moved by it as well. The word that I used there, moved, has more or less a similar meaning. It's 感动. But we can say that someone was moved to tears, that's 感动到哭, or that someone was deeply moved, 深深感动. So, for example, she was deeply moved by his offer to help her. So, it meant a lot to her that he offered to help her. Here's one more example sentence now. Emily cried when she watched the touching movie about the Syrian war. That is a very heavy topic. I'm sure that it did make her very emotional. It was very touching.
OK， 看一下 touching 这个字，大家应该很知道 touch 这个字就是摸触碰，老师都讲到了。那么加了 ing 呢，就会变成形容词，感人的意思。好，那当你把 ing 拿掉，变 ed， 代表你感动的。那 touching we use it to describe like a thing, but if you're using touched, we're talking about a person's feelings, like you feel it. 所以，譬如说老师刚刚有说 somebody was deeply moved by something， 我们就可以说 he was deeply touched by the movie， 这也是可以的。他深深的被电影感动。那么我们刚刚说 touch 的动词就是感动或触摸嘛，所以你直接改写可以变 The movie touched his heart， 电影感动了他的心。所以我们看到 Will 的演说主题是 loyalty， 也就是忠心忠诚的意思。
Right, so next in the article, she later makes up with Ellen and is also reminded of the important role Lucy played in raising her. Okay, so we saw the phrase makes up with there, didn't we?
所以这个 make up with someone 就是与某人和好。You can also say to reconcile with someone.
This moves Will. She decides to break the rules by performing something the judges haven't agreed to. So she was supposed to tell the judges what she was going to perform, and once she does that, she's not allowed to change what she's going to do in the competition. So she's so touched, she's so moved that she decides to break the rules. But what does break the rules mean?
好，我们看到 break 就是打破嘛，那么 rules 是规则，所以 when you break the rules, that means you don't follow the rules. You break the rules， 你就是违反了、打破了规则，你没有去遵守规则。那遵守规则就是 follow the rules.
And she breaks the rules by performing something. Now, perform is a verb, and when we perform a song or a play, we sing, play, or act in front of an audience. In beauty pageants, contestants often have to perform dances or songs for the judges to get points. Will is originally supposed to perform a magic trick, but in the end she performs a song. We'll get to what song she performs in a minute, though. But why do we perform things? We normally perform things so we can entertain people, and when we entertain people, we amuse or interest them by doing something in front of them. However, if we are performing something in order to beat other people and win a competition, then we're not necessarily entertaining people. We might be, but it's not our main thing. The main thing we're doing is competing. That's 竞争. Now, our example sentence for perform is the violinist performed a sad song that deeply moved everyone in the room. There we go. We saw deeply moved again in that sentence.
好，我们再看到 perform 它是一个动词，是一个表演的意思，所以现场演出就可以说 to perform live。所以我们在前面也有看到 performer 表演者嘛，所以 Lee 就是一个 performer， 那么 performance 就是一个名词。我们就可以讲说 her performance was not up to her agent's expectations， 代表她的那个表演没有达到她经纪人的预期。那么接下来再看一下我们英文练功房，我们讲到 by 这个呢是表示借由的意思，后面接上动名词哦。所以这边呢，我们刚刚说 she decides to break the rules by performing something the judges haven't agreed to，所以这个 by 后面的 perform 我们是要加上 ing 的，代表呢 will 借由表演一首没有经过评审同意的歌来打破规则哦。那么我们再往下看 He will make up for the lost time by working as hard as he can。 好，他就会借由呢很认真的工作来弥补失去掉的时间。那么其他常用的介系词还有 through 啊via 这些字，我们都是可以当借由的意思。
Wow, so we actually have another vocab word in there, judge. Now, a judge, that's a noun, is a person in a competition. So, Chicklin, have you ever watched X Factor, The Voice, or American Idol?
Yeah, I used to watch them when I was in high school.
Okay,
Yeah,
so you will know who judges are, right?
Yeah.
Yes, of
Like
course.
the
I mean, you
sign-
have to know.
Of course, like the one that's the meanest.
Right, the person who said, oh, well, your notes were a little bit flat in that song. You weren't so great. So who are the judges? Well, those are the people who decide who does well and who doesn't do well in a competition. So judges normally get to decide who gets eliminated or who gets knocked out of a competition, or sometimes they even get to decide who wins a competition. So the judges in the beauty pageant decide who is the winner of the beauty pageant. But in competitions, it's not always the judges who decide who wins. Sometimes the viewers can vote for their favorite competitor.
It's not fair.
It's not. Do you think it's not fair?
No. Like, it depends on like, how many friends you have. Like, if you have more friends, you can ask your friends to vote for you. And definitely you're going to win.
True.
Like, right? Okay.
That is true. That is true. Especially because some competitions let you vote more than once.
Yes.
Yeah. So we don't just see judges in TV competitions, though. A judge can also be the person who sits in a court and decides whether someone is guilty, 有罪, or not guilty, 无罪. Or put someone in jail as well. They can put someone in jail too. So let's look at an example sentence now. Everyone thinks the judge in this competition was biased because his daughter was one of the contestants. I think he was definitely biased.
所以我们看到 judge 这一个字，它是在我们课文中当是评审的意思。那么就像 Seb 老师说，也可以拿来当法官的意思哦。那么 judge 当动词就是评断，譬如说 Don't judge a book by its cover。我们把它翻过来，就像是中文的别以貌取人的意思。那么 judgment 是一个名词哦，可以当评论的意思。For example.Trust your own judgment and don't be guided by what anyone else thinks. 就是你就相信自己的判断，不要让其他人影响你了。那么我们另外一个片语比较常用的，你可以说 judging from or judging by blah blah blah， 就是以什么什么来判断。那我们造一个句子吧。Judging from the way he talks, he is probably in a bad mood. 所以就他讲话的方式判断，他可能心情不太好。
Right, we can tell from the way he's talking that he's probably in a bad mood. So, what is the song that she performs? What is she doing that gets her kicked out of the competition? Well, the article says it's the song Jolene by Dolly Parton, her aunt's favorite.
Oh,
I see. So it is a tribute to her aunt. She sings Jolene as a tribute to her aunt. That's very sweet.
And as a result, Will loses the pageant, but that doesn't matter. 所以这边 as a result 就是因此。那因为他表演了这首歌 ，Will 就输掉了选美比赛。但这没有关系。Why? I wonder why.
Well, the article says, once again, she feels proud of who she is.
Okay,
She's comfortable in her body again.
That's a good way to end it.
It is.
Yeah, 所以她能再度为自己感到骄傲了。
And I think in the book, it also, there is kind of a hint at the end that she ends up dating Beau. She ends up happy with Beau because she now feels that it doesn't matter that she looks different to him and they have different shaped bodies. So
maybe they're together.
Yeah, so it's not so much about the competition. It's more about how she grows as a person. And that's touching on our For You chat question, actually. So let's go and check that out now.
For You chat.
So, we have a good For You chat question. At the end of the book, Will is happy even though she doesn't win the pageant. Do you think the pageant should be the focus of winning the pageant should be the focus of the story?
I don't think it should be the focus because
No?
we're I mean, this novel is for the reader, so we're trying to send like a very positive we're trying to pass on like a positive attitude or meaning to the reader. So I think the focus should be like how you think of yourself and how you should love yourself as who you are.
Right. Of course, because if she wins the pageant, if that is the good thing that happens at the end, what's really happening is she's just getting the approval of this very traditional competition that just sees women as having to, or girls as having to look a certain way. Whereas with this ending, she gets to be happy for being herself. She doesn't have to change to fit anything else. I also think it gives it a little bit more of a kind of, it makes it a little bit more realistic, the book. I think that if you're going to write a book about body images, you want to keep it true to life at the same time. You don't want to make things seem, if you make things too exaggerated, then it's difficult for the reader, especially if you're somebody who is insecure about their own body shape, and then you read this and it doesn't feel very real, then it's not going to help you so much as if it's a very real story. And I think this is a very real story. It's a very inspiring story. Anyway, we're going to talk more about why this is a great book and what is important about it in our Day 3 story, our Day 3 article. But that is all the time we have for today. So, for English for You, I'm Seb.
I'm Chickling.
And we'll see you again next time.
Dumplin'. Will's decision upsets her mother. However, it also encourages many girls at her school to sign up too, including Ellen. This makes Will jealous, and before long, the two girls get in a big fight. They stop talking completely. Later, Will watches a drag queen pageant at a bar her aunt used to go to. There, she meets one of the performers, Lee. It turns out that he knew Will's late aunt, Lucy. Both of them shared a love for the singer Dolly Parton. Lee agrees to help Will prepare, and she feels inspired by the experience. On the day of the pageant, Will does brilliantly and impresses everyone with a touching speech about loyalty. She later makes up with Ellen and is also reminded of the important role Lucy played in raising her. This moves Will. She decides to break the rules by performing something the judges haven't agreed to. It's the song Jolene by Dolly Parton, her aunt's favorite. As a result, Will loses the pageant, but that doesn't matter. Once again, she feels proud of who she is.
Vocabulary Review. Upset. Tracy upset her parents with her decision to not apply to college. Completely. Regina does not eat meat because she is completely against eating animals. Brilliantly. Brad's father was proud of him for doing brilliantly on his spelling test. Touching. Yolanda cried after she saw the touching movie about New York City's homeless animal problem. Perform. The crowd screamed when Anya came on stage to perform her concert. Judge. The judges all agreed that Melanie should win first prize for her excellent speech.
智慧小补帖
Drag queen. Inspired. Loyalty.
以上节目是由活用空中美语制作，活用空中美语杂志，请洽询全国各大书店。如欲索取试听教材，请来电02-2364-4000 02-2364-4000，或上网查询，网址是 www.english4u.net www.english4u.net